Miami Hurricanes enthusiast says, this was the first game all year that I truly believe that our offensive deficiencies are on Josh Gattis. I've been blaming players' execution and lack of effort. The players actually played hard, he said. Gattis is making Garcia look like a terrible quarterback. Is Gattis retained after the year? And we got a similar question from Sam, who says, what will be the offensive identity going forward? Does Gattis return next year? If the offense continues on the track that it's on, now again, I'm not calling for anybody's job. That's up to Mario. It's not up to me. I'm not calling for anybody's job. But if the offense continues on the track that it's been on for this season, I could definitely see changes being made. Definitely. Right? Because again, Mario is the CEO. He's getting paid a lot of money to surround himself with the right people to bring out the best in these players. And if he feels like there are things that are not working with the coaches under him, he will not hesitate to make changes. He will not. So what you're bringing up is a possibility, man. I definitely, one of our viewers, our listeners, BP, described it to me as Gattis's like play calling and game plan appearing to be planless. I think that's a pretty accurate. That's how it looks on the field, right? And I don't think he does his personnel a lot of favors in getting anybody into rhythm. And listen, I'm not gonna completely put it on him because this team is not very deep and they've been plagued by injuries. Like finally, the wide receivers are getting healthy again, right? Like Restrepo is back, and I think he'll play an even bigger role against Florida State than he played, obviously, against Virginia, where he got just 16 snaps. Jacoby George is healthy. Colby Young is a bona fide stud. Michael Redding is healthy again. Like the receiving core is healthier than they've been all season long, which is great. But the running back core is not. The offensive line has been decimated. The tight end room is obviously not completely healthy. So, I can say that coaching and personnel have both been problems. I think we can agree that both of those things can be true at the same time. Mactown Canes says, what is the quarterback coach teaching these quarterbacks? Talking about Frank Ponce. I guess it's a little bit concerning that Garcia doesn't seem to be like getting better from week to week, although, I guess his performance against Virginia was a lot better than the 3 INTs, all those turnovers that he had, in the previous outing. Jakari Brown doesn't look like he can throw the ball effectively right now. So, I don't know how much of that you put on the quarterback's coach, at least with Tyler Van Dyke, who had a really slow start to the year. The last handful of games we've seen him, TVD looks like his old self again. So, again, this comes down to, do you want to bash players or do you want to bash coaching? I think at least with Tyler, before the North Carolina game, he started having those extra film sessions with Ponce, the QB's coach, and with Josh Gattis, and they were, kind of identifying the plays he wasn't comfortable with and accentuating the plays he is, and that had positive results with him. So, yeah, listen, man, I wish all three of Miami's quarterbacks looked like studs. They don't right now, obviously. How much you want to put on the quarterback's coach, that's up to you. I will say that probably the biggest winner from that Virginia game was Jaden Rashada, the Miami Hurricanes verbal commit for 2023, because he's looking at it right now. He's like, okay, well, Tyler Van Dyke might still go to the NFL, and if he doesn't, he'll play one more year here. Jake Garcia is not looking good at all right now. And, Jakari Brown can run, but he can't throw. Like Jaden Rashada is looking at the landscape, and he's probably thinking, I can go right in there and compete for the starting quarterback job as a true freshman. Honestly, Jaden Rashada is the biggest winner here. He can come right in and compete.